University of Nairobi, we labor all together in search for knowledge and truth. We bless and honor thee. We are the pinnacle of excellence in knowledge, knowledge to serve our motherland. Oh Kenya, knowledge to serve all mankind. Be not anchored by pride. Let excellence prevail. May we ocean the pitfalls of being the ivory tower. We sacrifice.
And that the knowledge that we are giving to our students is needed out there. Most of you will agree with me that really, if someone was to do an analysis, and I want to challenge our students, some of them that I see here, to do an analysis of all the media reports every day. Look at all the media houses and the newspapers and the television, and what is most reported? It's conflict. Conflict, and not just good conflict, but violent conflict. And so we must begin working towards changing those news. And although we are beginning doing this as a small cell, let me just call ourselves a small cell, a small group, I want to assure you, our chief guest, that we are contributing to the wider global peace movement, which is working towards changing the old talk of conflict and violence, and we start talking about peace. I'm not sure whether we have any government from the ministry represented here, but I think it's very important to realize that to achieve peace is not anything easy. We invest so much as governments to support and to fund military activities. A lot of money, really. If you look at our budget today and look at what went to the Ministry of Defense, you'll be shocked. And also, the terrorists spend a lot of money. People contribute from all over, isn't it, to support conflict, and not just conflict, but violent conflict. And we want to reverse this. And we are saying, if the military is so organized, and if the terrorists, as we call them, are so organized, and they're spending so much money, I think it is high time as peace movement champions to begin organizing ourselves in the same way. In small groups, lighting candles in the darkness, slowly and gradually, I believe we have the capacity to bring about change, so that we reverse the media news, the events that we see every day, whatever is reported every day. We begin reporting more of peace, and not conflict. And for sure, I do not need to justify why we need peace. I'm not sure that Governor Kiwa was able to show some of the pictures. They're silent. I don't know what happened. Yeah, they're there. We don't need any more justification. What is happening? What has happened today? What has happened yesterday? What happened the other day? The other year? And so on. What is likely to happen? I believe many of us, perhaps today, we are living in some state of fear. And we want to work towards really reversing these trends. And there's a saying that goes that war begins in the minds of men. But I want to add that war begins in the minds of men and women as well. And so, if war begins in the minds of men and women, then peace must also begin in the minds of men and women. So I believe we are doing the right thing. We do not want to, start communicating these messages of peace. Those of you from education, from psychology, you know that if you want to shape the behavior of everybody, from animals to human beings, you begin at that very tender age. So we want to start. Not that we are not doing it, but we want it to be done in a more aggressive manner so that our children will grow, not thinking about, I have children who call them shoot guns. I'm sure you have seen those toys that children use. And they'll even chase you with water of guns. Yeah, our children are growing with that, and we buy them that ourselves, and we are saying, can we have alternatives? Let us communicate the messages of peace from the very tender ages, so that when these children grow and take up our roles, take up the roles of the adults, really they will be more peaceful. They will be talking about peace and not conflict. So I really do not have to say much. Mine is just to really thank all of you who have participated, especially in the development of this program from the time back when we used to work with Professor Kidomo. Let me just say before she leaves, through this program we were trained. We did a lot of workshops here in Kenya. We did a lot of workshops in Uganda. Many people were trained from the school. They went to UK so that we give them the capacity to be able to deliver these courses. And chief guest, I want to assure you that the capacity has been built. We have the capacity to offer this course, not just at the master's level, but also at the PhD level. And we want to support, if possible, perhaps to think about peace education even at the graduate level. I think there's a gap there. Although we revised, I know the other day we revised our curriculum and we have integrated peace education as one of the core units. Perhaps even if we could go further and really have our own undergraduate program so that we teach more people who are going to train, who are going to go out there in schools and teach about peace. So mine is just really to take this opportunity to thank those who have contributed enormously to the success of the Masters in Peace Education. I specifically want to thank the executive, the Vice Chancellor, who has all supported us. I am telling you, any time, as we went through this journey, any time when we needed him, he was always there for us. And I'm happy to hear what the director of CODL has just noted, that there's even a huge budget to support this program. I think we cannot take that for granted, and mine is just really to appreciate that support. I also really want to appreciate the support that we've received, especially from our college all along. Our principal kept on telling us as we developed this course in the year 2009 that, Mwesa, what I need is this program, not today, but yesterday. And he gave us all. In fact, I can't remember any event, any workshop that we had, at least here in Nairobi, where the principal missed. He was always there, and even today, we continue to get a lot of support from the college level. Of course, I cannot forget the enormous support that we've received from the school level of Center for Open Learning, that he has really supported this program in a very, very special way.
Dean School of Continuing Distance Education will be having many roles. I'm not going to ask you to come now, but rather ask Dean School of Education who will then invite the other deans present to say a few words. Thereafter, I will call upon you to come in, and then thereafter invite the chief guest. Acknowledge your associate. Guests here want to say a word or two before you invite your dean to talk and give the mic to them.
Okay, thank you so much. DVCAA principal says, principal CHSS, my fellow deans who are present today, director CODL and director e-learning, heads of departments, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It gives me much pleasure to be here today launching a program whose journey began some time ago, and I'm happy because I was involved fully in the journey. We have been working all through with the committee, with the group, and today we are here. I must say, this initiative has come up at a time when the world is facing a lot of challenges in terms of conflicts. As we can see, a lot being flashed in front of us here, and there is much which we have witnessed as a nation here and all around the world. If we flash back to 2007-8 conflicts, and we go ahead, and they didn't just begin there, they began long ago. And the latest, the Mpeketoni, which is still going on. You ask yourself, why all this? Then when you go back to man, the origin of man, man is the only animal who likes killing the other one of their own species. If you go to the real animal kingdom, no animal kills that one which looks like it. A cow, for example, is never out to kill the other cow. Chicken the same. Even lions, which are so furious. But human beings make very sophisticated weapons in preparation to kill the other person. When you see missiles and everything else, they are not meant for animals or any other thing, but they are for killing the other person. Today, as we speak here, things have even gotten worse, because as we sit in this hall, a small flimsy thing can happen, and you find somebody killing the person sitting next to them without caring who they are or what they are. So now, what are we saying? The introduction of peace education is timely because of the power that education has in transforming people and creating permanent behavior, permanent change in behavior of men and women. Therefore, we believe that since the objectives of this program is the major objective is peace education to encourage prevention, amicable resolutions, and reconciliation at all levels of conflicts. And we believe that the learners will get the real strategies to use to manage conflicts to resolve this which happened, and also to reconcile those who have already been in a conflict. The idea, and if it can work, and I'm sure it can, is to encourage learners to be able to read the early warning signs so that they can be able to prevent conflicts before they occur. Through this education and the liberating power of education, we are sure this will be done, and we have a nation, or we have men and women who have no war in their heads, as Professor Mbesa put it, because we know education liberates men and women from hate to love, from anarchy to democracy, from want to need. Because sometimes we fight because of the things we want, not the things we need. Sometimes we kill the other person to get what we want, not to get what we need. In academic circles, when we talk of killing, we are not even so much concerned with the pangas I'm seeing in front there and the missiles. You can kill others through other means. Where you don't want somebody to get promotion, you are creating a conflict. Where you don't want the other one to work in the place they work, you are creating a conflict. Where you are ghosting 24/7, you are creating a conflict. So, in this launch, let's first of all launch peace in our own heads before we move out to disarm the minds, because all the weapons of war are in the mind. It is the mind which decides whether they will use an arrow or a panga or a bunduki to kill the other one. It's not in the hands or the legs, but the mind itself. So the major work of education is to disarm the mind, and we can start it from ourselves. We create peaceful environment in our working places, in our families. In fact, we start with our families as we move to our working places. And then we will be able to solve the problems out there. Otherwise, we will finish the world before the end of the world. And who is to benefit?